Welcome back to another video, ladies and gentlemen. So, have you ever looked up at the moon and just bedazzle at the scenery and look up at the night sky and then during the daytime as it's visible? And you always wondered, where did our moon come from? And that get me wondering. Let's check it out. Let's actually learn about the origins of our moon. So this is by a channel called Mark A. Garlic. Um, Basically talks about the formation by theories suggesting that a collision with another planet formed our moon. So let's get started with learning.
The web platform for agencies and enterprises.
No problem. No problem. Also, the original link will be in the description down below.
Around 100 million years after the solar system first began to form, chaos reigned among the planets. Debris was everywhere. Rogue planetesimals and asteroids continued to rain down on the newly formed planets.
Here's Proto Earth.
This is Earth, about 4.5 billion years ago. It is only 90% of its modern radius. The Moon is absent, not yet formed. This short film charts its story. We call this the Hadean era, named, fittingly, for the Greek god of hell.
Absolutely right. So, surface temperatures on Earth right now, from right here, 4.5 billion years ago, would have peaked at 4,000 degrees Fahrenheit on Proto Earth.
And things are about to get a whole lot warmer still. Close to the Earth, another protoplanet has been forming. It is about the size of modern-day Mars. Astronomers think that a world such as this collided with the Earth during the Hadean era. They have dubbed this theoretical protoplanet Theia, after the mythical Greek Titan.
And it was the mother of that gave birth to the moon.
Impact's power cannot be overstated.
So, pretty much the trajectory of Theia. So, it struck the Earth about at a 45-degree angle, traveling at 2,000 miles per hour to the point where it struck and it obliterated itself. And then all of this chunks of Earth's mantle and crust just blasted, and then tiny bits of Theia just blasted out, and then eventually the remaining parts of Theia are actually inside the Earth itself.
Moving at a few kilometers per second, Theia struck the primitive Earth at an oblique angle. The energy involved
Immediately, Theia just obliterated itself.
was 100 million times larger than the cataclysm that eventually annihilated the dinosaurs. Both bodies were completely turned into molten rock. Theia's iron core merged with Earth's. But a huge fraction of mantle from both bodies was blasted into space, as shown here.
Right there. So after the collision, of course. So basically, as the collision happened, it actually spun the planet faster. So an entire day on Earth at the time after the collision was about 6 hours long. So at 3 hours a day, 3 hours a night. And this is where actually we get our seasons from. It's because after the collision, our planet's tilt was probably around 13 degrees. And now once you get the collision, it upped it at 10 more degrees, so it's at 23.5 degrees. This is where we get our 4 seasons from.
Some of this debris escaped, not all of it. Some 20% of the original mass of Theia ended up as an orbiting ring of debris around the molten Earth. Immediately, the debris in the ring began to clump together, mimicking the formation of the planets.
This is pretty much just a kind of insider of Earth's very hot, rocky, dusty ring.
On a much smaller scale.
Here's our moon.
Very quickly.
And theory suggests that it never took 20 million years to form a moon like that. They said, according to simulations, it took hours to completely form it. And if you think about documentaries like the Apollo missions, they actually took samples of moon rock and it was shipped back to Earth, where the moon rock is actually under a very strict environment inside these laboratories where no human can touch it, with their bare hands, because your hands contain oils and eventually like bacteria and microbes and germs that can contaminate contaminate the evidence that they don't allow. So pretty much in these laboratories you have to wear very strict coats and full, like top to bottom, full gear, and gloves that go all the way up to your arm, up to your upper arm, and you have to have these special tools because bare skin or anything that can touch it can contaminate all that evidence. And like I said, this is a 20-pound piece of space object from the moon.
Possibly within months or years, about half of this matter had coalesced into a single body. This was our newly forged moon. Astronomers call this epic event the Big Splash, or the Giant Impact Hypothesis. Here is a view from.
So, pretty much at the time of after the formation, everything settled. The moon was 20 times closer than it is compared to today. So you know that the Earth and the moon are pretty close together. They're 250,000 miles, about 238,000. And at the time, 20 times closer, that would put it at about 14,000 miles. Where you think of tidal forces actually go by the cubed. So 20 times 20 times 20 will get you 8,000. So imagine 8,000 times this pull. So can you imagine right now if the tidal force were 8,000 times what it is today? Tsunamis will batter anything and destroy anything in its path. Storms would happen just enough to tear the planet apart, because I said 8,000 times than it is today.
The surface of our planet still largely molten.
Imagine how close the moon is. So imagine if you put in a scenario of real life and how close it is. This moon will pretty much dominate the entire sky if it was that close. But right now, the moon drifts about 1 to 2 centimeters a year.
The new moon, seen on the left, would have been much closer to the Earth than it is now. Additionally, because the Earth was spun up during the impact, its day lasted only around 5 hours. The impact also set our rotational axis to 23.5 degrees, causing the seasons. Fast forward 4.5 billion years. Gradually, the moon has moved away and continues to do so, and the Earth's rotation period has slowed to 24 hours. Without this cataclysm, without the moon's influence on us, life on Earth may have taken a very different turn.
Exactly, so perfectly said. Because without the moon, then everything would be out of control. The Earth's rotation would just spun so fast, and its axis would wobble, and just everything, it will just be a complete stop, where the point where the sun's resonance will just you know, pull the Earth in because the Earth is just too slow and unstable to support itself.
Thanks for watching.
Alrighty, so that was fun. Well, thank you guys so much for watching just the tragic backstory of where our moon came from. And if that sounds interesting to you for more space related content, thank you guys so much.